Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Acting Premier. Mr. Speaker, last year, Cy and Ruby's Act for Parental Equality passed second reading with all-party support. Since then, the government has stalled on my bill, and there are babies being born to LGBTQ parents who are being forced to fight Ontario's discriminatory system. For a decade now, the courts have told the Ontario government that our parentage legislation is clearly discriminatory. It does not recognize that LGBTQ families even exist. As a result, LGBTQ parents are forced to adopt their very own children. Can the Acting Premier please explain why this government won't pass Cy and Ruby's Act and is continuing to prevent the children of LGBTQ parents from parental recognition?
Thank you.
To the Attorney General.
Attorney General.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. I wanted to thank the member from Dale I Park for her advocacy. Mr. Speaker, this government remains committed to supporting all Ontario's families and protecting the best interests of children. We recognize that modern families come in many diverse forms. We are also aware that use of assisted conception methods such as IVF and surrogacy are increasingly common. Mr. Speaker, I spent 14 years in the delivery room, and this was not, the reality of the time. I realize that it's many years ago. But before any changes are made to parentage laws, it is important to hear from as many people as possible about their experience to ensure that we understand the needs and circumstances of all families. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary.
Back to the Acting Premier, Mr. Speaker. This government's inaction on this issue has forced LGBTQ parents to take the government to court. You're fighting them in court. The government apparently cannot figure out whether it's going to concede legislation needs to be changed or whether it will continue to fight equality for LGBTQ families. This isn't complex, Mr. Speaker. The government should not be fighting this case. It's a waste of taxpayers' money and time. Will the Acting Premier commit to ending the discrimination of LGBTQ parents and children and pass Cy and Ruby's Act on Parental Equality in time for Pride Month? Yes or no?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Attorney General.
Mr. Speaker, we support the principle underlying the member opposite bill. That's why the Ministry of the Attorney General, in cooperation with other ministries, we will be consulting on this important issue over the coming months. Ontario was served with a constitutional challenge to the birth registration and parental recognition provision in the Vital Statistics Act and Children Law Reform. As this case is before the court, I cannot comment on it, but I can tell you that we're serious about consulting because there is different opinion, and we wanted to make sure that we hear from as many families as possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.